Disclaimer, please do not attempt to contact anybody that you see on the screen, anybody that we're going to be talking about. This is all purely commentary and opinion. Viewer discretion advised because there's some graphic and disturbing details relating to crimes against children and humanity. And trigger warning, there's some serious rage baiting. Piers Morgan acts like he's, totally above all this, but that's the whole reason he's bringing Victoria Hervey on his show to begin with, is for rage baiting, because, say what you want about the woman, she does bring in a lot of views. Maybe it's like the outrageous things that she says and that people are just not quite used to, because most people have a heart and have a soul, and they're not used to hearing people like her talk about like people like Virginia Giuffre and other victims the way that she does. But anyways, they really ought to do studies on this woman. But anyways, let's get into this, because as we all know, Prince Andrew, or I'm sorry, not Prince anymore. He is no longer Prince. Strike that. Andrew has been arrested in the last couple days, this last week or so. And so anytime anything happens to Prince Andrew, anytime that he's in the papers, anytime there's any kind of scandal, she comes out. She comes out as their front PR agent, because apparently, without, I don't blame him. No other PR firm will probably take on Prince Andrew. Sorry, Andrew. I'm trying to get used to it. No other PR firm will take on Andrew or Fergie right now, in my opinion. I mean, let me know if I'm wrong. So she comes around, and I honestly think that she is the one who comes out and says all the things that Andrew secretly really wishes he could say. So he sends her to say them instead. But you'll see what I mean. Let's go ahead and watch.
Now is Andrew's confidant, Lady Victoria Hervey. We spoke last week, Victoria. I just wanted to get an insight from you about what you have gleaned, maybe the mental state of Andrew, how he is in himself. He's obviously lost pretty much everything. His wife has gone into hiding. His kids haven't been seen. It's the haunting picture of him coming out of the police station has gone around the world as one of the most shameful images of a royal in history. What do you...
Have any of you seen that photo of Andrew, by the way? It is bizarre. You can see every emotion on his face. You can see the horror, just the shock. He's just aghast. Oh my God, they're actually arresting me. And this is significant because, keeping in mind, to my knowledge, no one in that royal family has ever been arrested, at least in hundreds of years, right? Am I wrong? Who was the last one in that family to be arrested? Was it Anne Boleyn or something? This family just gets away with freaking everything, and they always have. This is arguably the most powerful family in the last millennia. So, it is a big deal. It is big news, and I could see why Andrew would be quite shocked that he was getting arrested for what he was getting arrested for, considering everything they've gotten away with before then. In fact, I'm sure that's what he was wondering. It's well, wait a minute, this is something we all do, so why am I getting in trouble for this? That's just my opinion, allegedly, speculation. That's all speculation. I have no idea. I don't know anyone in the royal family. I don't talk to anyone in the royal family. I'm just speculating from what I'm seeing.
Hearing about him and how he is.
First of all, I think that the photographer, taking a photo like that, I think that is shameful, to be honest.
I think that's shameful, just to be honest. A photographer taking a photograph? Shameful.
Having
Why?
Just left. Well, you're just leaving the police station, and, you're obviously hiding from the photographers. Of course you're going to have a red eye, and it's going to look bad.
And there it is. There's the picture. Look. You literally can. It's every emotion you would expect someone like him, everything that we know about him. It's just it's everything. It's perfect. And then you see the two officers in the front just totally unbothered, just over it. It's just, oh my gosh. I love it. I love it. It's perfect.
For people to be gleefully sort of enjoying this
Girl, don't you even. Don't you even. We all had to bear witness. We bore witness to how you treated Virginia Giuffre the last several months of her life, like tormenting the life out of her. That girl saw no peace from you and your minions, and still, even in death, she cannot rest from you. She cannot rest. So, with all due respect, Victoria Hervey, shut the fuck up.
I think it's sick. I think it's demented. I think
you're sick. I think you're demented, Victoria Hervey. I think your elitism is really... And you know what? She doesn't even, pretend like she's not elitist. She doesn't even pretend to believe that these girls, like Virginia, are just in such a lower bracket in society than someone like her and Andrew, that she literally thinks that it is, their divine right to take advantage of people like us, like Virginia, like people like that. They literally think it's their divine right given to them by God.
Arranged. And at what point is this going to stop? Is this going to be like,
Never.
That girl from Love Island that they went after?
You know what? It's a good question. When is it going to stop? Well, maybe if Andrew was as perfect as you say he was, then this wouldn't be happening. You know what I mean? This is like every other week now. Something new we're learning. He's not even being arrested for the Virginia Giuffre or none of that. That's not even what he's being arrested for. He's being arrested for either giving or selling secrets to Jeffrey Epstein. I think. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. Pretty sure that's the gist of his arrest right now. Has nothing whatsoever to do with his involvement with underage women. It has nothing to do with that. So, yeah. What you got to say about that, Victoria?
And she finally killed herself. Do you know what I mean? Like, how far is this going to go?
Well, I do, but I also think my response would be, as a former tabloid newspaper editor,
right,
is that the royal family... Oh, well, hang on, let me finish my point. Is that the royal family court the media when it suits them. The whole deal with the media is that the media promotes the royal family and the monarchy in a way that I think sustains their future. Without media coverage, the monarchy would simply disappear and be irrelevant.
And if you all don't know, that's precisely how Harry and Meghan were constantly thrown under the bus. It was mainly because of Harry's own family. They wouldn't have printed all those stories and all that embarrassing stuff about Meghan and Harry if they didn't have the consent of the royal family. So just something to keep in mind. That's the kind of family we're dealing with. They literally eat their own young. I mean, that's what we're dealing with when we're dealing with people like Victoria Hervey, when we're dealing with people like Andrew. They literally do that to their own family. So, that if that tells you anything.
And die. So my point being, well, hang on.
Yeah.
You can't turn the tap on and off when it suits you. And frankly, I can't think of a more legitimate reason why the media would photograph.
I mean, exactly. He's literally being arrested. Why wouldn't they? Why is that shameful? Why is that shameful?
A member of the royal family, then a member of the royal family is leaving a police station after being arrested for what could turn out to be treasonous acts of passing business secrets that they gleaned as a trade envoy for the UK government to a convicted paedophile. Yeah. So, I won't have any truck with those who say the picture shouldn't have been taken. It might be a haunting image, but the idea no one would take it or publish it.
Oh, it's haunting, all right. It's haunting. It even looks like he has a demon in one of his eyes. You all saw that in that photo? I don't know if that was something they edited or blurred out, but it looked kind of crazy. Maybe they were trying to blur out the reptilian eyelid. I don't know. Just speculation here.
It's ridiculous.
I just think, the fact that Tobin Andrea, who was at the Daily Mail, who joined the palace, who is head of comms at the palace, I just feel like that is a huge conflict of interest, to be honest.
I'm assuming that's the photographer who took the picture. And if they're the head of comms at the palace and stuff, then once again, we have an example of the paparazzi and the media working on behalf of the royals, in my opinion, allegedly. Maybe she should take this smoke and anger to King Charles. I mean, you know what I mean?
There's obviously
Why?
information.
Why?
Well,
Because they're not, let's just be honest, they're not going to print a single gosh darn thing without his permission.
there's information being fed. The photographers that were there at 7:30 a.m. The
Had
police
nothing to
officers
do with
come to the
Tobin
house.
and well, hang on.
It was a setup
Let me
by
just,
the Daily Mail.
Okay, but
you know?
Victoria, you're very good at saying stuff, but you have to then let me actually.
You're very good at saying stuff. She is. Oh my gosh. I don't think I've ever been able to confirm a single thing she's ever said. Big surprise there.
Counter it with reality. I know Tobin Andre. He was at the Daily Mail as a senior executive for many years. He's gone to run comms
Since
for the palace,
2022.
for the king. For the king. And there is absolutely zero suggestion.
Did you catch that? Specifically for the king. Just wanted to catch that before it was lost on everybody.
That he had anything to do with any of this.
No,
in fact, the photographer who's from Reuters has explained in painstaking detail how he came to be where he was, and it was pure chance that put it this way.
Okay. I did get it wrong. So the photographer did not work directly for the king. All right, this is a photographer from Reuters. So what does that have anything to do with the director of comms at the palace? Did they okay it? Is that what she means? I'm not really sure. Someone from the UK, please tell me.
Tobin Andre from the palace wanted the photographers to get the picture. There'd have been a lot more than one of them.
Oh, okay, I see. She's accusing this comms person, I guess, of coordinating this photograph being taken. Okay. And the photographer is saying that they were just happened to be there by chance. Okay, so that's what they're saying.
By chance.
But anyway, like getting back to, because we've now drifted off like from the original questions, and you were saying to me, well, how do you think he's actually feeling? I mean, how do you think he's feeling? At this point, he is literally.
Girl, go drink a glass of water. Why does your mouth always sound so dry? I try not to say it the last time I listened to her talk, but I keep noticing it. She always sounds like so dry. Just go get a glass of water, please.
Being crucified, and it has become like a blood sport. I said that on my Twitter the other day, that it feels like a blood sport, and he is being hounded. And like, when is this actually going to stop? No one's actually thinking about, okay, what is his mental health?
Maybe, is it possible that maybe he's being hounded because some of the crap you're saying? Like, I can't think of, like, anyone who comes out here and says more outrageous, outlandish stuff. So, I don't know. Maybe it's a possibility he is being haggled and heckled, possibly due to some of the things that you're out here saying about these poor women. I mean, I don't know. That's just a guess, speculation. I don't know. Trying to help you out with your problem here, Victoria. Trying to help you out.
Right now, the facts are Virginia Giuffre. So this is completely separate. Obviously, this has nothing to do with the.
And here she goes again, about to bring up Virginia Giuffre again, who has nothing to do with any of this, who has been dead, what, a year and a half or 6 months? Oh my God, did she die in 2025 or 2024? I think it's only been 6 months or something. But yeah, either way, what does she have to do with anything? She just cannot, she will never miss an opportunity to thrash this girl. It's insane.
Scandal that he was accused of, that nothing was ever proven. This is, more serious. Peter Mandelson's role, though, was way higher. Andrew was actually not even an official diplomat,
Andrew was not even an official diplomat. The prince, the queen's son, the special international trade envoy, you're telling me that was not an official position? Okay.
So it was more a sort of,
it was a sort of Andrew didn't have anything to do. His mom she was getting on her nerves, and his sweat smelled real bad. So I guess they just sent him off to be this trade envoy, but it wasn't official. Don't you understand? He didn't actually have any real secrets. These were all just play and pretend secrets that they're investigating him for, because it wasn't official. It just wasn't official.
It was a role that he took on, but it wasn't official. I think it's a huge distraction.
It wasn't. No, hang on.
Wait, one second. Let me talk.
Wait a minute.
This was a huge distraction from Keir Starmer and Peter Mandelson.
Victoria, you can't say these things without correction. He was an official government trade envoy. He may not have been a member of the British cabinet like Mandelson, but he was an official trade envoy, and I think that's the key part.
But not in a hugely official capacity.
Not in a hugely... Okay, there's different definitions in the UK from what I'm understanding from what she's saying. There's an official capacity, there's a somewhat official capacity, and then there's a hugely official capacity. I'm guessing Peter Mandelson had the hugely official capacity, and that she's trying to say that Andrew had a somewhat official capacity. Just so, in case you all were confused, if you're confused, you're dumb.
Like Mandelson.
Well, you're either official.
Different.
Well, you're.
But
well,
don't you think this is?
Bianca,
don't you think this is a huge distraction from Keir Starmer right now?
No, I don't. I think it's got nothing to do with it. But Bianca, from that point, I mean, to me, Mandelson and Andrew. I don't know why we call one by a surname, one by the other.
We'll just call him Prince Andrew because the Mountbatten thing is way too long.
So if the Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor is too long, Victoria Hervey, just call him Andrew. I mean, you're on a personal enough terms with him to call him that. Shoot, that's what I'm going to call him from now on, because I agree. I think Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor is a mouthful, and I think it would just be much more simpler just to call him Andrew. I mean, no need to clarify. We all know who that is. We all know who we're talking about. But no, he will not be called Prince Andrew. If you want to shorten it, just call him Andrew.
Well, he's not Prince Andrew anymore, so let's call him Mountbatten-Windsor. Well, he won't always be Prince Andrew because he's not.
He will always be Prince Andrew. Girl, get a grip. That title was taken from him. It is a title. It is a piece of paper. Like, what are you talking about? He will always be Prince Andrew. It's absurd.
No longer Prince Andrew.
Piers Morgan, what's your real name? You're not called Piers Morgan, are you? So, you know...
well, if you want to know my full surname, it's Pew Morgan, double-barreled. I dropped the Pew when I became a journalist because I got more bylines without it.
Right.
But I still have that on my passport.
But I think it's just easier to call him Prince Andrew, you know?
But he's not. No, he literally has had the word Prince removed from his titles. That's the whole point.
With that name, like
it doesn't matter.
No, you were not born with the name Prince on your birth certificate. I mean, I guess you can be. I guess you can be actually named Prince, I suppose. But that is not in this case. Can you imagine a real prince being named Prince? Then what was that? Like, this is dumb, Lady. This is dumb. Like, what are you talking about? First, you said it was just easier to say. Now you're saying he was literally born with that name. See, I think this is she's kind of giving herself away, because she knows deep down inside that if it's something as simple as taking away your title, that it was never real to begin with. If they can just simply take it away, even though it was something you were born with, it was never really real to begin with. And I think that terrifies her, if she's to be completely honest. I think that absolutely terrifies her, because in her world, she was born important, and she will always be somewhat relatively important where she's from. You know, she's got a title, an area, and whatnot. So, you know, she lives in that world where she lives for those pats on the heads by these people and whatnot. And so in the world that she comes from, I can see why this is very important, because you're literally assigned importance not by anything you've worked for, Not because you worked for anything, but because of the bloodline you belong to. This is why I hate like the whole bloodline thing, because it's like you literally don't have to do anything, nothing to earn anything. You've already earned it just simply by being born and breathing. You've earned it. And that's just not real in my head. That's not real. It's very hard to respect it. And I think a lot more people are becoming privy to that, and that really terrifies these people. You know what I mean? That really terrifies them, because if you take all that away from them, if you take that all away from, I mean, they're just essentially nothing but like show ponies at the end of the day. That those titles are everything to them. So, you know, she's extremely telling, and she's telling on the whole establishment, to be honest. If I were the royal family, I would get her out of these interviews and appearances, because she's done nothing but make them all look worse and more inhuman. But that's just, you know, my advice. What do I know? Just a silly American bird, you know, what do I know? But anyways, I will be back tomorrow, and we'll go through the next clip. Yeah, because it's always entertaining in the day of the life of Victoria Hervey. But anyways, I hope you all have a good night. Take care.